Hello everyone. So this video is going to be some various updates to the truck and also attempting again to fix the Proline Ultra Reservoir Shocks as the reservoir O-rings are still leaking, and eventually I will get to that, but I've got some more O-rings, and these are Buna-N material this time instead of the Viton material, because the Viton ones I guess did not work. And we will take them apart and we will see how much damage is on the O-rings. And the Buna-N supposedly has a little more wear resistance, so that should help them work better. So upon viewing the shocks, most of them don't have that much leakage on all the other O-rings other than the reservoir one, of course. And yeah, so it seems the Viton O-rings throughout seem to be doing well. And they haven't ripped or anything as far as I can see from the outside. And however, the reservoir ones, look at that one, you see all that oil in there. You can even see it bubbling out. You can hear the air pocket inside the shock. This one, these are where they rip. And yeah, they're still, all of them have that bubbling noise. You can just hear it. So yeah, so I'm going to take these apart. So I have all the shocks disassembled now. And it took a while because as I was disassembling it, one of these launched somewhere. And luckily I found it. But yeah, the O-rings on the pistons are in absolutely horrible condition. So on most of them, I don't know if you can see this, but there's these little like things like this. There are little pieces of the O-rings that basically got ripped off and ended up inside there, and those fell out. On one of the pistons, you can see here, the O-ring like got ripped off, part of it, and it got flashed upwards. There's like a piece of it that got pushed upwards. It's really weird. Yeah, these things are in pretty poor condition, so I definitely need to replace them. However, on the rest of the shocks, a lot of these are in fairly good condition. There's basically zero rips or anything, unlike the silicone ones, which were just destroyed. And they all fit better, and they definitely work. The Viton ones, I'd definitely recommend them if you're having trouble with the silicone. However, I think that probably Buna-N would be a better choice since it's less expensive. If you were wondering, these are the 2mm by 3mm sized ones. That's the ones I've been putting in here. They're the closest approximation to the ones that Proline used, which are these things, which I've been using as a bump stop because they just fit there. And these are actually a custom size. So yeah, these 2x3mm are definitely the closest size that I could find to these, unless you want to pay a ton of money for the custom sized ones. Yeah, so I took the old O-rings off. I used a knife to cut them. Surprisingly, I mean, they're not exactly easy to cut. You have to actually press hard with the razor blade. And I mean, that kind of shows like how strong these things are. And yet the threads inside here can still cut them to shreds when you put them in. So I just found that interesting. And also I put the new O-rings on. They went on fairly easy. I'm hoping they have a nice fit. I'm just going to test one here. The back side. And yeah, they do fit in there. So hopefully it'll go in the front easier, because you can't put them in this way. You have to put them in that way. So yeah, we'll see. So actually, I did some testing, and I pressed one of these pistons in through the thread side the normal way I would do it. And I did it about 10 times, and they actually seem fine so far. I mean, after a bunch of them, like 5 or so, they started having tiny little shreds come off. I don't know if you can see those. But, I mean, it's absolutely nothing compared to, like, these that came off the Viton ones after one try. So, I think that these are going to work, actually. That'll be really cool to finally have a set of O-rings that keeps these shocks from leaking. So, yeah, I'm going to assemble them, and we'll see how they function after that. So, I finished building the shocks and cleaning them, and here they are. This time I did bleed them, and as you can see, one of these O-rings kind of broke. However, I think that's fine. I don't see that. I mean, it doesn't seem to be leaking, and that's because it's still compressing it hard. And yeah, another one kind of did also, but if this becomes a problem, I did try it with the Viton. Those broke as well, so I replaced it with the original one. And yeah, so that's about the only issue I ran into. Other than that, the Buna-N O-rings went in. A couple of them did fail, and I did kind of pressure test these to see if any of them were leaking. And so far, I have 0 leaks. That doesn't mean they won't leak at all. Hopefully they won't. And yeah, so I think these might actually be fixed at this point. I mean, I did do a test, like I said before, and most of the O-rings, when I put them into the piston, didn't fail. And then I pressurized them by doing this and pushing down on the piston to see if any oil squirted out. And yeah, nothing happened. So I think these might be good. So yeah, thanks for watching.